going to be in there? What's
confused.
That's why it's got these two.
All right, this is good. I want you all to expand on this one, though. How is he using this event to address the future? What does he say? He says, we don't want these soldiers to have what? Died in vain. To have died in vain. So how is he using this event to talk to other soldiers about future battles to come? It's a really tough question. Look back. If he's like, we don't want you to have died in vain. Look at the bottom of your footnote. Josh, where it says died in vain. Set it for me, sweetie. Sit nice and straight, Moses. All right, thank you. All right. Do y'all need help with this one? Yeah? All right, so why do you think Lincoln is going to reference? Why is he, what does he say? He says, we don't want all of these soldiers to have died in what?
Isn't it because they fought for their beliefs?
All right, so he wants to recognize that they fought for their beliefs. That's true. But he says, Brandon, I'm going to come to your group next. He says that we don't want these soldiers to have died in
War.
not in war. Look back in your speech.
In vain. Right.
In vain. And what does that mean? If he's like, we don't want these soldiers to have died in vain.
Well, eventual success or something. Well, eventual success.
They died not in failure.
Right.
Deaths did not end in failure.
Right. So in other words, right, their deaths are going to take the Union Army closer to victory or closer to failure? To victory, right? He wants to remind Union soldiers, all of these men have died. We want it to hopefully be a step toward us moving and being unified. Okay? Does that help you for number 4? Yep. Do you have any other questions?
So the men who died on the Confederacy soldiers,
The Confederates? Mm-hmm.
they were trying to bring them together or something?
So did Lincoln want to keep the nation unified, or did he want the South to separate, to secede?
Unified?
Unified, right? And so that's why they're at war, because he's saying, no, the southern states, you need to stay a part of the U.S. The South was like, no, we want to separate. Okay?
Okay, so if the South would have won, would they been separated by now?
Yes, if the South had won.
So weren't they fighting for like slavery to be all over the United States?
The South or the North?
The South? Weren't they fighting for that?
So the South wanted the right to own slaves. Yes.
So if they would have won, there would only be slavery in the South.
There could still be more slavery. Yes, there could still be
Not in the
slavery.
North.
But not in the, well, it'd be up to the northern states. Okay? All right, good job. All right, let me have all eyes right here in 3 and in 2 and in 1. All right, so moving on. Let's everyone flip back to the front. Flip over to number 1. This is pretty difficult. It seems like we did a pretty good job with this. So for number 1, we already covered number 1. He was referencing the Declaration of Independence. Let's look at number 2. Who would like to read? Oh, actually, I'm going to use my popsicle sticks. Let's have all eyes on David Brown. David, all eyes on David? David, can you read and answer number 2?
All right, how does Lincoln...
Hold on one second. I need 100% of eyes on David. Okay, go ahead.
How does Lincoln describe the United States in his speech?
Okay.
That they were in a civil war and split in 2.
Okay, the United States was currently in civil war. They were battling each other, and were they unified class or divided? Divided. So they were divided. Very good. Did you have a question, sweetie?
No, it's not.
You're going to add on that? All right, go ahead.
I was saying they were being apart as North and South.
Right, they were divided as the North and the South, the Union and the Confederacy. Maria?
They were brave.
Okay, so but remember we talked about that. He says we're standing on this great battlefield. What battlefield is he talking about? What battlefield is he talking about? If this is the Gettysburg Address, it took place right after the Battle of Gettysburg. Okay. Moving on. Any other questions? All right, let's move on to number 3. Let's have all eyes. 2 is not here today. Let's have all eyes on Michelle Love. Michelle, can you read and answer number 3?
How does Lincoln describe the men who died at Gettysburg? He describes the men who died at Gettysburg as dedicated, honored, and brave.
Dedicated, honored, and brave. Very good. Narita's going to get a prop, and Isabel's going to get a prop because they're adding to their answer. And Miss Moore, very good. They're adding to the answer. Go ahead and add that if you need to. That they were. Can you repeat that, Michelle, please?
Dedicated, honored, and brave.
Dedicated, honored, and brave. Very good. All right. Let's have all eyes on Ivan. Flip over to number 4. Let's have all eyes on Ivan. Ivan, can you read number 4, please?
Why does Lincoln want to remember the men who died?
Hold on one second. I want to make sure we're all there. All right, if you want to follow along on your sheet, that's fine. Is everyone there? We're good? Okay, keep going.
How is using this event to address the future? In other words, what does he want the living to do in response to the Battle of Gettysburg?
So how is he using this to, eyes are right here. How is he using this speech, in other words, to have Union soldiers think about the future? Why is this battle important, William, in terms of the future? Ivan, what's your answer for that?
That we should do our, that the U.S. shouldn't be destroyed, it should be united, together.
Okay, you're right. Lincoln does want the U.S. to remain united. But we knew this before the Gettysburg Address, correct? So how is he getting Union soldiers to think about the future? He says that we don't want our soldiers to have died in what? Raise your hand when you know. He said we don't want our soldiers to have died in what, Josh?
Vain.
In vain. And what does that mean? I want everyone to flip back to their speech. Flip back to their speech and find that expression in the bottom of your footnote. That these dead shall have not died in vain. Raise your hand. Tell us what that means. Nagad? All eyes on Nagad?
That their death did not end in failure or without eventual success.
Right, that they didn't die for just a useless reason, right? So what is Lincoln trying to say? Well, how is Lincoln using the Gettysburg Address to address Union troops about the future? This is definitely a tough question. All right, let's have all eyes on Miss Ia.
He's just saying that when in the future there is to be another battle or war, that the soldiers that did fight in it, they won't be they will for sure be remembered, and they could look forward to be like a hero.
Okay, so he definitely wants the men who died to be remembered. That's a very important part. Add that on there if you don't have it already. Very good, Ashley. He wants to make sure that the soldiers are remembered, the soldiers who gave up their lives, the 38,000 soldiers that gave up their lives. But there's something else. What else does he mean? Let's have all eyes on Joanna. Hold on one second. I think some people are still writing. When you're ready, I want you to look at Joanna. Okay, thank you for tracking the speaker. Go ahead.
He wants to show them that dying for their own country is not a waste of their life. It's actually dying for a good cause, and it's remembered as heroes. Okay, so it's very good. All eyes are right here. So he does want to remind them that they are fighting for a good cause. And what is the cause in this case? Why are the Union soldiers fighting the South? What is the cause? What is the cause? Let's have all eyes on Jennifer Amaya.
The cause is that he wanted the Union to come back together.
He wants to keep the Union together. Excellent. So I like how Josh is adding that on already. He wants to remind the Union soldiers that they're fighting for a good cause, that they're preserving the Union or keeping the Union together. Good. But there is something else that he means when he says we don't want these soldiers to have died in vain. What else does he mean? Let's have all eyes on Nagat.
I don't know what they mean, but I have a question.
Well, it's on the bottom of that sheet. I want us to make sure we get to this point. He's like, we want to make sure that the troops, Michelle Love, that died here did not die in vain. Hannah, what do you think? All eyes on Miss Hannah.
That the people were
Loud and clear.
for people who died, he wants everyone else to think of them not as people who failed, but people who
We're getting it. Jennifer.
He wants us to remember the people.
Hold on. I need all eyes on Jennifer.
He wants us to see that the people that died are making
we're making them closer to victory.
All right, so we're moving one step closer to victory. All right, we're getting there. Joanna?
He wants us to remain all together and not make other people die for the same reason.
All right, we're almost there. Ivan? He wants, all right, we're getting closer. I'm going to go ahead and give this to you for the sake of time. Eyes are right here. So he wants to remind the Union soldiers that we still, like, yes, 15,000 Union soldiers have died, but we need, eyes are right here, we need to move towards victory, okay? We need to move towards victory. And I like how Isabel is writing this down. And we want to make sure we win. We want to make sure we win. Jessica, just 1 second, okay? We want to make sure that we win, that the Union wins, so all of the men who died didn't just waste their time here, okay? So he wants to make sure that all of the men, he wants to remind the Union soldiers that they need to still fight for victory, so that all of the men at Gettysburg who died defending the Union did not waste their time. So he's pushing the Union troops towards victory. So the men who died in Gettysburg did not die in vain. They did not waste their time fighting for the Union. When you're done, I need all eyes on the gap.
My question is, like, did you write this only for the United States or for the Union and the Confederacy?
Well, he wrote it right after the Battle of what? Gettysburg, right? So, like, his immediate focus is really on the Union soldiers. But what makes you think that maybe he wants other countries to remember this as well? Why are you thinking that? I think you have a good reason. Everyone look back in your speech. Everyone look back in your speech. There is something else that he addresses. You're exactly right. Can you tell me what made you think of that question?
How many men died?
Well, he says, now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure, right? So, or any, when he says, or any nation, right, he could be referencing if other countries ever go through civil war. All right? Very good. Thank you. All right. I have one question before we move on to our exit ticket. And my question is, we've got to move on. We've got to move on. How is the Gettysburg Address like a gold medal? I want you to discuss that in your groups. How is the Gettysburg Address like a gold medal? We've got a really good answer. This is going to be your opportunity to earn a prop for the whole group. How is the Gettysburg Address like a gold medal? You have 60 seconds. Go.
So to get a gold medal, even though a lot of people died, you still like learn like you got something good.
Ashley, not right now. We're not going to focus on that right now. Can you put that away? Thank you. All right. And in 3,